Capstone Career Presentation, Prosecutor, and Lawyer. Career description. A prosecutor charges people who commit criminal activities and represents the victim in court. Lawyers must be able to interpret laws and use them in court. A case must be prepared in its entirety by the lawyer to present in court. Knowledge and skill sets. Lawyers must have extensive knowledge of the laws and what they mean. They must also be able to reference prior court cases. Lawyers must have very strong critical thinking and speaking skills. Lawyers, especially prosecutors, have to make sure that their case makes sense and that they can prove their case to a jury. They must also be able to speak clearly, fluently, and intelligently to get their point across to the jury effectively. Work environment. Being a prosecutor involves a lot of involvement with local law enforcement to help build their case. A typical day includes putting together case files, working with officers, and going to court once charges have been brought. Salaries. The entry annual wage for a lawyer is $53,706. The average annual wage is $122,512. The experienced annual wage is $156,936. Job outlook. In Florida, lawyers have a stable job outlook with a 16% job growth rate. There are just over 2,000 estimated job openings for this career in Florida. Nationally, being a lawyer is stable as well. The estimated employment change from 2010 to 2020 is a positive 10%. This is the actual job opening that I found, and it's for an assistant prosecutor, and it is in Ohio, and it gives the email and the information to contact for the job. Degrees and certifications. A bachelor's degree can be completed in a number of different things before going into law school, such as pre-law or criminal justice. I plan on doing mine in criminal justice or criminology. After completing law school, every graduate must take and pass the LSAT before being certified to practice law. They must also pass the state bar test for whichever state they are deciding to work in. Possible educational plans. In order to major in criminal justice, there are 3 core classes. They are Introduction to Criminal Justice, Criminology, and Introduction to Research Methods. A student also needs 27 additional hours in criminology or criminal justice classes. In the first year of law school, the required courses are Civil Procedure, Constitutional Law 1, Criminal Law, Legal Writing 1 and 2, Legislation and Regulation, Properties and Torts. The required classes for upper-level students are Constitutional Law 2 and Professional Responsibility. The school that I looked up this information on was FSU, and FSU's law school, because that's hopefully where I'm planning on going. How will I pay? I've done pretty well in high school, so I'm hoping to be able to get plenty of scholarships in school. And taking out loans is another possibility that a lot of students have to go to because they don't have the scholarships to pay for school. Reality check. It is very possible to make a living in this career. There's a great job outlook and a very high salary. Based on my research stated earlier in this presentation on job outlook, there are a good amount of jobs not only in Florida but also nationwide. Some job perks are that I would be doing something to help people. It would be a good job. I would enjoy going to each day, and there's a very nice salary. Some negatives would include irregular work hours and lots of overtime. Why this is a good fit for me. From the personality spectrum, I received a high score in organizer. In order to keep my cases straight and be able to prove my case, I would need to be organized. One of my strongest intelligences was logical. In order to make my case believable, I have to make a logical connection of events to be able to prove that to the jury. The Florida choices told me that I was an organizer, which is the same result that I got from the personality spectrum, which just kind of backs up what I said earlier. From the BE Learning Styles quiz, it showed that I work best alone or in a small group. And as a lawyer, I'm going to be working with the same small group of detectives or other lawyers in my group. I have a very high emotional intelligence score. This is good because I can get a feel for when people are lying or things like that when I'm interrogating someone on the stand. My MBTI was ESFJ, and the description for this type says that they put others before themselves and they try to do anything they can to help. This is good for a prosecutor to have because before anything else, helping the victims should be number one. My personal interest in being a lawyer is that I'm so interested in these types of things. Like crimes and investigations have been something that I've always loved to learn about. I've always watched the crime shows, no matter which kind they were. And I've actually wanted to be a lawyer since I was in fourth grade. And my Florida FCAT rights was written about why, or a practice FCAT rights was written about why I was going to be a lawyer when I was older. I have strong values, and I think by following this career, I can help people, and that's like my biggest thing. I don't want people to be victimized, and I want the people responsible to be punished. And these are the 5 sources that I used for my presentation.